Good afternoon and welcome to Omnibroslive, Coffee and News with the Omnibros. I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, welcoming you to the show along with my co-hosts, Gabe loves 90s Comics. How's it going, Gabe?
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome to all the new people in the chat who are like, are they starting late? Like, yeah, it's a normal thing for us to be a little late. But welcome in, everybody.
And from Comics Guy 101, our very own Lou. How do you do?
Hey, how's it going? Happy Sunday, everybody.
Oh, he's got his deep ASMR voice going.
Yeah.
Right on, man. And I apologize. We're late mostly because of me. Gabe and I were having conversation about comic books before the show, and this show's about comic books. That's all we ever talk about is comic books. We love comic books. And another place that loves comic books is StockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions for up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always, at the end of the month, a gift card giveaway for $50. And the lucky Joey Goose won last Thursday, $50 gift credit in his account. Congratulations, buddy. And for $50 or more in an order from IST, you get free shipping in the U.S. That's going to be important in March. There's a lot of stuff that all of a sudden got pushed together like a big comic collector sandwich. And you're going to be making some big orders, so you'll need that free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. All right. So we talk about comic books before the show, during the show, after the show. Always, all we talk about is comic books. Or whatever random stuff Lou posts in the chat that has nothing to do with the topic that we're talking about.
I'm very random.
Yeah. We'll have this long chat going about some certain subject, and Lou will just drop in, hey, did you see the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile's going to be in town next week? Or something like that. We're like, okay.
It's a big thing.
It is
Important, yes.
It is a big thing. Actually, you can stay in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile overnight, just outside of Chicago in Evanston. And my wife and I, once the pandemic's over, are going there to stay overnight in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Nice.
It's a B&B. It's got a kitchen in it and big king-size bed, bathroom, everything.
That's pretty
cool. Is it all you can eat hot dogs come with it too?
Actually, yeah, the refrigerator is not a big one, but it's like a mini one stocked with all Oscar Mayer products.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I asked. You can have all the fried bologna sandwiches you want on this Airbnb.
I was going to say, I love Oscar Mayer fried bologna sandwiches, man. I love those. Or else, when you fry it up, it curls up into a bowl, and then my mom used to drop an egg into it. Oh, that was good breakfast.
Man, that's some fancy food hacks right there.
Straight out of the 50s. Yeah. Yeah.
That's almost like people who make prison wine in the toilet. Gotta do what you gotta do with what you got.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't know that I'd equate that to my mom making me a bologna and egg, but okay. Okay, so prison wine. Pros and cons. No,
okay. You get buzzed. Helps pass the day a little bit.
I got to tell you something funny that just happened. My phone was downstairs as I was getting in the shower before the show, and my wife came up and said that Tyler Blunt was on the phone, and so I said, "Go ahead and answer it." And so she said, "Hello, Jess's answering service." He immediately said, "Hello, this is UPS. We've been trying to reach your husband. We have 35 packages we're trying to deliver to his door, and he's not available." And I thought she was going to throw up. She was laughing so hard. Tyler just changed on it, turned on a dime, and made it about UPS. It was so funny. He's so funny.
If I'm gonna have a hot dog, it's a Nathan's. Nathan's makes a good dog.
And grilled, right?
Yeah, grilled's the way to go.
Grilled.
You gotta grill your hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean, forget that boiling it in the water because that hot dog water is just funky.
I'm a big fan of Hebrew National. Those are good. Those are really good.
Well, someone's at the hot dog eating contest on 4th of July. Those are Nathan's, right?
Those are Nathan's, yeah. Nathan's.
I like Chicago hot dogs where they put like the peppers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
They say that's running it through the garden where they put all the tomatoes and the peppers. What else? They got a special sprinkle they put on it. Yeah.
I'm pretty basic when it comes to a hot dog. Maybe a little chili and a little cheese, but for the most part, I'd ketchup, mustard, maybe a little relish, and I'm good. That's it for a hot dog for me.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Oh, yeah, Joey Goo's papaya dogs from Papaya King, right?
What's a papaya dog? Is it made of papaya?
I don't know. Maybe Joey Goose can tell us. I only knew about it from Seinfeld because there's an episode where Kramer gets off the subway because he wants a Papaya King hot dog, and that's how I learned about it. I think maybe papayas has something to do with the smoothies or something, but apparently, okay, it's just the name of the place, yeah. But apparently, they made hot dogs.
Well, Joey's he's in New York, so he gets the best of hot dogs and pizza, man.
Oh, yeah. New York pizza is awesome.
Oh my God.
I didn't know he was in New York. I thought he was in California.
No, he's in New York. I've mailed him stuff before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But papayas, I'm gonna leave papayas alone, but I won't say it on the air, but
I just think that's the name of it. I think it's just the name of the place, and they're supposed to be really great.
There's very few things in the world that I don't eat, like food wise, and papaya is at the top of the list.
Really, I love papaya.
I'm not a fan either.
Really,
I'll tell you guys in our chat later, like what it tastes like to me. I won't say it here, but man,
no, that's okay. It's okay. I love them. I love the taste.
Jess, you're a baseball guy. What's your baseball food? What's like when you go to a game? What do you have?
At the ballpark?
Yeah.
Dodger dogs, man. Talk about hot dogs. Yeah.
Well, ballpark food is so much better now than it was when I was growing up. It was so crummy back in the 70s. Now you go to the baseball game and it's all this amazing food you can get. Buffalo wings and egg rolls and chili dogs and everything. So when we go see a game at Nats Park to see the Nationals play, there's a famous place in DC called Ben's Chili Bowl, and they make really great chili dogs.
Cool.
Chili's great. Their hot dogs are great. It used to be, it's been completely gentrified, the area around it. It's on U Street, which it's a metro stop now, so it's all changed over. But back when I lost my job in '87, that's where the unemployment place was located, on U Street near Ben's Chili Bowl. That was not a place for a kid like me. There were needles in the gutter as I stepped over them to get to the unemployment office.
Oh, well, that was the 80s for you.
For the $250 a week I was collecting in unemployment, which actually lasted me the whole summer. But yeah, U Street was a scary ass place, and now it's just, there's Starbucks everywhere. But I will get a chili dog at the ballpark. I also like Shake Shack. There's a Shake Shack at the Nats Park, Nats Stadium. I like their burgers, and they have good frozen custard shakes.
So what you're saying is these baseball parks are now kind of like movie theaters, or it's not just your typical, just like quick, gross food. They've actually got like real food happening.
I don't get to go to many. Oh, I go to Alamo. Yeah, they've got pretty decent food.
Yeah. Because I haven't been to a ball game in a while. I don't care about sports, but I went to a Dodger game probably about 10 years ago, and it was the seats we got came with all-you-can-eat concessions. And I just destroyed myself on hot dogs and nachos.
How many? Yeah, Dodger dogs are good. I've had those before.
Yeah, they're great.
How many do you think you had?
All of them. Like, I think they had to cut me off at one point. No, but I was just going to town on it. Like, I was drinking heavily too back then, so I was like, there's nothing better than if you're drinking heavily, like really bad beer.
Was it free? It came with free beer?
I don't remember if it came with free beer or not. I doubt it, because that's a liability concern, I would think. But I don't know if it's more liability, too much beer, too many bad food for you. But either way, like, I was just tearing up those hot dogs. Like, I was probably eating like 3 at a time.
Yeah, there's so much good food at the ballpark now. What's your go-to, Lou? Do you go to many ball games?
Man, I haven't been to a ball game since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch sporting events on occasion, and I'll go to a basketball game and stuff like that. But I would say the last time I went to a sporting event 4 or 5 years ago to a basketball game.
You ever go to wrestling stuff?
Wrestling stuff? Jiu-jitsu tournaments, I've been to that because of my brother. And acai bowls are delicious at a jiu-jitsu tournament. It is so good. It's a Brazilian food. Acai is a fruit, but they make it into kind of like this dessert kind of paste, and they add a granola to it, like a caramel to it. It's delicious.
Coconut to it. I had
what
that.
Is it called again? What's it called?
Acai bowl.
Acai bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I've never had it. Now that's all I'm going to be thinking about the rest of the day.
It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
Where else can you get that?
Any Brazilian bakery should have it.
Brazilian bakery. Okay.
I mean, I get it here in town. There's acai places that have it here in town. What is it? It's like a chain, like Jamba Juice. Like those kinds of places carry that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Do you know?
Acai.
Oh, all right.
It's like this.
It's delicious. Yes.
They got fruit in it, and they put extra little sprinkles of, like you said, like granola. Sometimes it's
okay. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Acai. I didn't know that's how you pronounce that word. I've always stayed away from saying it because I don't know how to pronounce it.
This looks great with the almond butter here.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
I'm starving too. I just got back from the gym. I haven't eaten. I'm just living off of body fat right now. This looks amazing.
Wow, that looks fantastic.
I think you can get it at Planet Smoothie too. I'm pretty sure they have something there.
So it's like a smoothie thing. You can get it at a smoothie place, and this will be the kind of thing you get?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm jonesing for that. I don't even.
Yeah, maybe you could DoorDash it or something.
Acai bowls.
Yeah, because there's got to be like little local places that do it. Like I said, I think it's there's a place in town called Bowlology, and all they do is like different types of bowls like that. They have it. It's a berry.
Okay.
They have it like at Pinkberry. You can get it at Pinkberry on like your like frozen yogurts.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
I know where I can get it. It requires me to leave the house.
DoorDash it.
Yeah.
Or
DoorDash.
something like that. Yeah.
Let's see if DoorDash has acai bowls.
See if you can get one here before the end of the show.
What's it?
That'd be great. Just I'll order it and we'll just. It's better than us doing the Pop-Tarts or the Oreos or the Dew Bombs.
Oh my gosh! I almost went to the hospital on those dew bombs.
Yeah, that's a Ryley. You have to have a certain type of like Ryley integrity to have that kind of stuff. With the way he adjusts sugar on a typical basis.
Oh, Roberto, relax, dude. Chill out. It's not that big of a
Is
deal.
somebody mad?
He seems like he's agitated today.
What's up, buddy? We're talking about acai bowls that I can get in 35 minutes.
This is what the Sunday show is all about, man. It's about shooting the shit.
Yeah. Okay. From Robex Fresh Juices and Smoothies. Okay. I'm doing it. But, ooh.
You got it?
Yeah, that looks great.
Yep.
Ooh, that mango one looks good too.
You have done me a solid favor. Nutty acai bowl. That looks good.
Give it a try. I'm telling you, I think you'll enjoy it.
Killing me here. I'm starving.
You've already sealed the deal, dude. I don't know which acai bowl. I'm going to get several.
get one for you and Patty. You guys can share and split and try it out.
I think Patty might like it too.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Right on. I'm excited now.
You ordered it?
What's that? No, I'll wait till I'm off the air. It said 35 minutes. I don't want to interrupt the show to go get my.
Yeah, they can just Uber Eats is the best. They just drop it on your doorstep and walk away, and you go out there and get it. And you don't have to leave the house.
Yeah.
You gotta pay a premium sometimes for that stuff, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's a $3 delivery fee, but right now I'm thinking I'd pay $20.
Yeah, I mean it's better than you having to go out. You know, if you're that concerned, do whatever you do to feel safe. So
yeah. Okay.
Are you It's not. Well, when's your when do you qualify for the vaccine, Jess? When's your turn?
My wife's going today to get her first shot.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, she's getting her first shot. I'm kind of farther down the list. I don't know when I'm going to get it. I don't know. It's it may where were we? Beginning of March. It could be May, I bet, before I get it.
Oh, man, it is almost March, huh? March is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a year, almost. The 2 weeks is stretched out into a year, and it's probably going to stretch out a little bit longer too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Moderna or Pfizer, Universe. I'm not sure which one it is.
Didn't Johnson & Johnson just got approved for like their one-shot vaccine? I think I read that the other day, which I'm pretty sure is probably like the great value version of the vaccine.
Oh, I hope not. Wow, the great value version. It's the Walmart store brand. It's Dr. Thunder, the dollar soda in front of the what's it called, like the People's Choice or something.
Yeah, it works 50% of the time, all the time.
So let's see. We're gonna talk WandaVision eventually.
Caesar, I really don't buy new singles. When I do still pick them up at Torpedo. Like I think the only thing on my list is legitimately Last Ronin, and then Red Room when that starts. That's it. I'm not too interested in newer books these days. I don't know about you guys. None of you guys really pick up singles either, right? Current singles.
Sometimes I'll pick up a variant that I like, but that's really about it. I don't have a pull box or anything. I'm so far behind. I don't know. I haven't read Venom 1 or 2 or Absolute Carnage. I have read Guardians and Cosmic Universe by Cates, but I just read those. So I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what's going on with King in Black or anything that's really hot right now. What else is hot? Thor and King in Black and Venom. I don't know what's going on with those.
I will pick up the new Spawn. Those 4 new Spawn titles when they start coming out. I'll definitely be picking those up. I'm gonna give those a shot for sure.
Who are the other writers on those titles? I know Donny Cates is on one.
Oh God, you put me on the spot. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's Spawn. It's Gunslinger Spawn. It's Medieval Spawn. It's She Spawn. It's cool.
She Spawn. Hey, did you get notified about your Spawn Kickstarter yet?
I don't have not for a tracking number or anything like that. No,
I just saw that some people are starting to get them now.
I can't wait. It's been stuck at the ports like everything else for like the longest time. And it's only been just like the first wave has hit, and they got more. That's like 6, 7, 8 days behind. You know, it literally is just like a when they say it's a slow boat from China, it's legitimately a slow boat from China. Everything has come on, like so. Hopefully soon, man. And my only concern, I want to get that tracking number because it was so long ago that it still has my old address on it. So I haven't been able. I can't change it. So I got to get that tracking number and like change it that way. I don't know how they're shipping it. Are they shipping it USPS? Because if it's USPS, all my stuff's being forwarded here anyways. But if it's something else, I'm gonna have to have them hold it like at FedEx or hold it at UPS or something like that for that to happen. I don't want to go through.
I saw on Facebook where guys were showing it off, and it looks pretty boss.
Yeah, I'm excited for those things. It's going to be super cool.
Yeah. What issue did you just read? King in Black 4 or something, right, Lou? You said it was really good.
Yeah, King in Black 4 is really good. Gabe, you read it or you heard about like that big reveal at the end, right?
Yeah, I know about that thing that happened at the end with the energy.
Yeah, that was great. No, King in Black number 4 is great. Donny Cates really he keeps tying in every single thing that pretty much he's done in the past like 3 or 4 years at Marvel. And this genuinely feels like the culmination of literally everything that he has been working on for the past 4 years. And it's really, really fun. That's the big thing. Is that event books for me? I've been burned on event books so many times.
Oh, it's an event.
It's an event. And I've been burned on them so many times that I just like it takes a lot for me to really dig an event and actually pull all the tie-ins and really like, okay, I'm gonna read this tie-in with this and see how this happens. And I've been doing that. I've been doing that with King in Black, and so far I really haven't been disappointed at all. Issue 4 was great. Nice little twist at the end. Great little reveal. And we get an origin for something that never had an origin before. And I'm not going to give too many details on that. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
Does this take place like right where is it in the Venom Absolute Carnage? Where does it take place in, like, it's a spin-off of Venom, right?
Yes.
Venom?
Yes. Yeah. This takes place after the events of Absolute Carnage. There were a few little issues after Absolute Carnage that kind of set the stage for this. And like I said, we are getting literally the culmination of everything Donny Cates has been working on Cosmic for 4 or 5 years at this point. The only thing that I'm still waiting for him to tie in is his Thor book. Even though Thor does show up here, it's kind of a little bit weird because Thor's got his own really big set of problems right now in his run. If you're all caught up with that, that really don't tie into what's going on in King in Black, so it kind of throws me off as far as, well, when does the timeline for Thor take place in relation to the timeline for the events of King in Black? Because Thor is in serious shit right now in his run.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that's been my big turnoff with these crossover events. I don't mind crossovers. I don't mind event books because those are always interesting. It's all the stupid tie-ins. It's the 60 issues. Yeah, I mean, I heard again. This is Donny Cates, and he stuck the landing with Absolute Carnage. And Lou even said that most of those tie-ins were done really well too. Mm-hmm. But like, I got rid of those things. I had like the Absolute Carnage Omnibus. I got rid of that. I got rid of the War of Realms. I don't need 30 tie-in issues for like a 9-issue story arc, kind of thing. So I'll just stick with the main storyline kind of stuff. But
yeah, and I will say that you can read Absolute Carnage, you can read King in Black without having read any of the tie-ins. The only core book you need is Venom and Absolute Carnage, and then Venom and King in Black, because
that's how I like it.
Yeah, those are 2 separate books, but they work together. So because you're supposed to read Venom 30 and then you read King in Black #1 or something like that, however it goes.
Oh, okay.
And you bounce back and forth between the 2 because one literally leads into the next, and they play off of each other, you, like I said, you don't need the tie-ins at all. Kate's really is good about that. Is that you can read Thunderbolts #1, which I really recommend you do, just simply because it's a fun ass book. But you don't need it. You really don't.
That's one of the tie-ins.
Yes.
Do you know some of the other? How many other tie-in titles are there? You know,
Too many. Way too many.
Oh, it's across all of Marvel.
It's a lot of them. There's an Immortal Hulk one with Al Ewing that isn't actually bad. It's pretty fun. There's a Valkyrie one. There's the Thunderbolts one, which is good. There's the Miles Morales. Basically, everybody's because the situation with King in Black is that King in Black takes over the world. It's like the whole world is infected by this by Null because he's finally made his appearance. So this is the line wide. Almost everybody is tied into this, which is with the exception so far of Thor, which is a little bit weird for me because Donny Cates is writing Thor, but he hasn't tied in that book into this. But like I said, Thor's got his own problems going on right now, which motherfucker, Donny Cates, man, he has a habit of rewriting Marvel continuity to the detriment of some hardcore continuity queens, because I know some people really get pissy about it, but he does a great job when he does it.
So here's all the tie-ins. It looks like it's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, I don't know what the Union is. Black Cat's. They're really trying to. From some of the things I've heard on different podcasts and YouTube videos, Marvel's really trying to make Black Cat like a big deal. Like they're trying to get her like way above. They're trying to make her punch above her weight class, like big time. So King in Black, Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Guardians of the Galaxy tie-in, Spider-Woman tie-in, King in Black, Planet of the Symbiotes 1 and 3. Like these are the tie-ins that get me just make my brain melt. Like I don't need all these like mini series tie-ins. Like that's ridiculous stuff.
Oh, that's where Venom versus Carnage comes from. Okay.
Yeah,
and you don't need any of this. You need Venom and King in Black. That's
how I like it. That's that's the stuff I will read and enjoy. Will be the main title, and then like the main title tie-ins, like the Venom tie-ins, and and then the King in Black stuff. I don't need King in Black, Gwenom verse or King in Black, this nonsense or that nonsense kind of stuff. Like it's I know what they're doing. They're padding stuff out, and it's a sales tactic that Marvel's used for years, where they just try to take over the shelves and take up as much real estate on the shelves as they can with these things.
Do you remember all the Civil War tie-ins? Every motherfucker had a book in Civil War at the time. You couldn't walk into your store without seeing a Civil War just covered in the Marvel section.
Secret Invasion was the same way, but again, you could just read Secret Invasion 1 through 9 or whatever it was, and that's perfectly fine. And the New Avengers tie-ins, and that's it, and that's what I would prefer. Same as when they did any like major crossover events, like Maximum Carnage or Extinction Agenda or Zero Tolerance, just the main issues, and that's it. I don't need these mini series of a mini series.
And I think the only tie-ins for Civil War that I think were really because I was hard into Civil War when it was coming out. I was trying to keep up with everything. I think the only thing that was really worth picking up was Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and Wolverine. I think were the only ones that were really, really worth picking up for Civil War at the time. But it's been so long.
Carly asked a good question. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I saw Ernie Ray asking about what's the word on Venom 200 grand finale Donny Cates run or not. I think Donny Cates said he's out after at 200.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. And Gabe, will you be grabbing 4 variants? I don't buy variants at all. I appreciate variants and like variants for what they are, and I think variants are really helping the industry. But to me, that's a hard pass on anything. That's a variant. I don't go after variants. I don't go after store exclusive variants. All that kind of stuff is. I'm a '90s comics fan, and we all know that. And people talk about gimmicks in the '90s. Like, there's nothing worse than variant gimmicks today. It's the worst. It's the worst.
You know what's crazy is that this year we are going to see the end of Immortal Hulk and Venom, 2 titles that are going to make amazing collections once they're done.
Are you? I know you don't buy like physical stuff much anymore, Lou. But are you going to break that rule or go out and do the Immortal Hulk stuff or the Venom stuff?
You know, I don't break that rule, but there are exceptions. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to own this. Whenever they put a nice little collection together, this is one of those runs that I will break my rule for. Similar for because I similar to Junji Ito stuff, where I need to get those physicals of Junji Ito. I'm in the middle of moving, like I'm packing my stuff up right now. I'm getting ready for a move pretty soon. But once I get settled in, I am going to be picking up like the Junji Ito collections and that Immortal Hulk collection. Whenever that comes out, that's a must buy. I have to have that. And same thing with this Venom run. It's going to be another must buy.
Yeah, I mean, I have the oversized hardcovers, and that's perfect. Oversized hardcovers for Venom, oversized hardcovers for Immortal Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thor, when that becomes an oversized hardcover, I'll be getting those. Like,
yep.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. We're always, washing the feet of Donny Cates, but he is definitely like the hottest writer in comics right now, and hot like for all good reasons too. Like, yeah. He's doing legitimately good stuff. I mean, yeah, he might tinker around with some continuity stuff, but that's always been the thing. That's always happened since 1961 of Marvel Comics. They've always tinkered with continuity, but he's adding spokes to the wheel. Like, he's taking what's there and he's adding stuff to it. And we're getting amazing stuff out of it.
Yeah, no. And then a lot of people like to spout gloom and doom on the industry and, the writers today aren't as good as like the writers in the 80s and stuff. Dude, the writers today are kicking ass. Mm-hmm. You have a plethora of so many different titles that you could choose from that are great from both Marvel and, some titles from DC and Image and stuff like that. But when you think about it, we've got Al Ewing, Donny Cates, Jonathan Hickman, Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker is kicking ass with every book that he puts out every single year. I don't think they're
James Tinian, Jason Aaron, Kieran Gillen,
Tom Taylor.
The Golden Age, I like the Silver Age. I'm gonna go Silver Age because that's one of my favorite periods of comic book time. But I struggle to think of a period where there's been so much creativity in comics at the same time.
I don't think there has been. I think
agree.
It's the real golden age right now. I mean, as far as content creativity and great comics, I think now is the best time ever.
Jeff Lemire, everything he's doing with Black Hammer right now is great.
Yeah. And this is a time where we don't have any of the heavy hitters anymore. Like, there's no Walking Dead anymore. There hasn't been Saga in like over a year. Like, their 6-month hiatus that they usually take in between like arcs has extended, much longer. Maybe it's COVID or whatever related. But you don't have the big heavy hitters. That your solid normal heavy hitters like Walking Dead, Saga. Even things like Spider-Man have been kind of lacking a little bit, but there's still a lot out there to really satisfy anybody who's looking for good stories.
Mm-hmm. We are reaching, I think, the precipice of that moment where we start a lot of writers like that are our age that were reading this stuff as kids are coming into their own, and they're taking it a lot more seriously. And not saying that the generations before weren't, but a lot of people in our age are really imbued into geek culture, and geek culture is really cool. So they're taking this stuff a lot more seriously, and they're running the ball with it. And I think that's why we're getting such a plethora of different writers and so many different artists right now that really love this stuff, like genuinely really love comics, and they loved it in the 90s, and that was their first experience reading, and they are taking the medium, they are changing it for better or for worse. Comics are evolving. The storytelling medium of comics is changing as well, just how they do stories. It's not these long form word bubbles that Stan Lee used to do, where you would pick up the book and it'd take you 30 minutes to get through 20 pages. And in some ways that's good, and in some ways that's bad. But you can pick up a comic now and be done in 15 minutes, and you get a good story out of it. And it continues and it keeps going at a quicker pace, I think, than it used to.
Yeah, I agree with Jess. Like, this is a golden age. Like, we're like same thing what Lou was saying is this is kind of like the changing of the guard. Like, some of the early 90s, late 2000 big time writers are kind of phasing out a little bit. Like some of my favorite writers, like Bendis is kind of phasing out. All those kind of guys from back then. Joe Quesada is not really doing anything anymore. Garth Ennis, Warren Ellis, like all these guys that were huge back then are phasing out. And in their spots, we're getting Donny Cates, we're getting James Tinian, we're getting Tom Taylor, we're getting Tom King, we're getting it's a new evolution, it's a new stepping stone, it's the new, like I said, it's a changing of the guard, it's the next phase of all this, and that happens, and that's exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, this is I just speaking from experience from the '60s on through till now. I can't think of a time when there's been so many great things to choose from. Almost any genre has a great writer in it, or multiple great writers in it, from multiple publishers, and a lot of times you've got great artists with them. It's not a case of the art pulling the story down, or some great artist on a not great story. Spider-Man by Abrams' son.
Are you guys gonna talk about that tomorrow? Is that?
We ripped it apart on Thursday.
Oh, you did already? Oh man, I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah. I'm happy to rip it apart again today. But yeah, there is so much great stuff. I don't know that I'm actually going to get to it all. You know, I have such a backlog, and I really want to read all of it. There's so much good stuff to read currently. And it's getting collected, which is great.
Yeah.
I hope people realize how blessed they are. Sometimes the complainers are louder than the people that are happy. But I hope people realize how blessed they are right now to be a comics fan, because there are I don't know how they come up with all these great stories all the time, but you know, I just got done reading Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Tom Taylor, and Spider-Man is as old as I am, and you'd think all the stories that could have been written about him would have been done by now, but those two trades are great reading. And it's an old character, and then you've got guys coming up with new stuff all the time. This is really such a great time to be a comics fan.
And not only just like that, just the quality and the excellence that we're getting out of it, but another thing that is so different compared to when, and we're in, what I like about the show, what I like about our relationships is we have basically 3 different generations of comic book reading, where with somebody like Jess, where it was purely, and I'm talking distribution and ease of accessibility, where when Jess is starting to read comics, it was strictly, you know, the local drugstores and 7-Elevens and, you know, like Quickie Marts and stuff like that. And as I was reading the comics, I got a little bit of newsstand stuff too. Like I remember buying stores at like the Ralph's across the street from my house and the 7-Eleven, but at the same time, the direct market was booming, and there was comic book stores at the same time. And now with somebody like Lou, who's got a little bit of everything, and then also the ease of accessibility with the internet and collected editions and digital and stuff like that. So it's so much easier to get access to all of these books, where before, in Jess's case, where you might get on the newsstand Fantastic Four, you know, 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus, but you wouldn't get 49, you wouldn't get 50, and then all of a sudden 52 shows up, and it's just distribution was garbage. And same with me, where if it was sold out, there's nowhere to get it. You know, it was, if they didn't have it at the grocery store, if they didn't have it at the local comic book store, that was it. You know, there wasn't the ability of me to go on the internet and buy whatever I was missing. Today you have the internet, and you have collected editions, and you have eBay, and you have, you know, like goddamn like Instagram, YouTube sales and stuff like that as well. It's so much easier to get it, and there's a lot out there to be able to receive all of this as well. And Agent Johnny Depp got the best comment of the show, so I'm gonna leave that.
He wants to rub your head too.
That's all good, man. It's all good. He's a hairstylist, so he has complete permission and access, and I'll let him shave my head.
Well, you're totally right about that spinner rack stuff. Back in the 60s and 70s, week to week, you could never count on a book being on that spinner rack, and it was a spinner rack in the drugstore where you would go every week. Maybe you'd get Green Lantern that week, and maybe you wouldn't. I specifically remember when I was like 12, 10, I used to go to summer camp every year for like 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the greatest. I loved it. But I would leave my dad a list. You know, that's when comic books were 15 cents a piece and allowance money. And I would leave him a list, and he would actually go to the drugstore for me every week, and which was awesome of him. And I'd come home to a giant stack of comic books, but I would be missing at least one or two, like Superman or Batman. You know, it'd be like you were saying, there were huge gaps.
Yeah.
Or not even huge gaps, but I'd be missing an issue, and I'd have to go up to San Jose, or when I visited my brother in LA, go to used bookstores and go through the cardboard boxes to try and find those issues that I'd missed. They weren't 6-issue comic arcs like they are arcs now. But you still wanted to know what was going on.
And that's why it was like that, because the distribution was so terrible, is that you couldn't do, it would be unfair to do 2-issue, 3-issue, 6-issue story arcs back then. Like, that was unheard of. It was all one and done. Yeah. Because, you know, you got issue 4, you wouldn't be guaranteed to get issue 5. Like, you know, so they knew that, and they marketed it that way. And same even with me. Like, comic book stores were all over the place when I was growing up, but they were also shutting down like terribly too. So, you know, you wouldn't get, I go to the comic book store and go, oh, hey, I'm going to get the new issue of X-Men, and the shop will be closed and completely vacated. So
I think the rise of the internet has been one of the greatest and worst things that's happened to comics in multiple ways. The greatest because it's made it so accessible for people to go and read these amazing stories from the 60s and 70s without having to go into back issue stores and without having to go into the bins and stuff like that, and hope you find a reprint of, if you want to start it with Spider-Man and Amazing Fantasy 15 or whatever, or 14, whatever it was. You can just go on Marvel Unlimited, you type it in, and you go right there, and you can start at the very beginning if you want, or if you wanted to read John Byrne's Superman or whatever it is. I don't even know if the DC app has it, but you get my example. In a negative way, it's because of that accessibility, it has, in some ways, it's going to lead to the ending of comic book stores. We've been touting this for years, and the reality is that digital is the future. It is. That's just the way it's going to go. Digital and collected editions for me are the future.
It's the manga route. It has to be the manga route. Like, I hear that all the time from comic book stores I visit here in town, where my manga section is starting to outgrow my regular selection.
Wow.
Yeah, because but kids are not interested in, I shouldn't say that. Kids aren't interested in reading Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman comics. They're not. They love the movies. They love the video games. They love all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't want to read the stories. What they want to read is My Hero Academia. They want to read One Punch Man. They want to read all these manga titles that are really blowing up right now over here in the West. I think Demon Slayer, it's been #1 in Japan for like the last few weeks as a movie. It's been ridiculous how much money that movie's made.
And nobody wants to really get into the single issue game of having to get single issues and having to get 30,000 tie-ins for something like that. You know, we've had this discussion 100 times on the show, where the mangas is that if you want to read One Piece, you just read One Piece. You know, One Piece doesn't cross over into Berserk. It doesn't cross over into Demon Slayer. And, you know, it's none of that like gibberish nonsense sales tactics, you know? So
I work at a middle school. I don't see Batman, Superman comics. I see One Piece. I see kids in the hallways reading My Hero Academia, reading Naruto, because in many ways, and like you said, we've had this conversation like a million times, is
Yeah.
that ease of accessibility.
Yeah, it's just what people like. You have the entertainment of the manga, and you also have it's also you get the same adaptation of the manga as the cartoon. You can read My Hero Academia, and you can watch the manga and experience it and see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you just read. Same with Attack on Titan. Same with Demon Slayer and One Piece and all that kind of fun stuff too. It's all there.
And to kind of piggyback off of what you said, Jess, it's not just comics, it's geek culture in general. Everybody these days is fighting for our time. And I as a person that is getting married and soon to be living with his fiance and moving in, and she has a kid and everything, and we're starting a family together, my time is growing shorter and shorter. My own me time. It is. It just, that's the nature of how things go. Yeah. My me time is growing shorter and shorter. So I have to realize, what am I going to put my limited amount of time into reading and investing my time into? Yeah. Which was one of the things that really ticked me off with that J.J. Abrams Spider-Man book, where it was like, am I really going to think 2 hours of my life where I could be reading something good into this horrible comic?
And there were only 4 issues on Marvel Unlimited.
Exactly.
I had to go hunting for the 5th. That was the cherry on that shitty ice cream sundae.
And that's the thing is, we have such an abundance of great things in everything that's going on with comic book television, with video games, with books, with comic. It's crazy how many great things there are to read, watch, listen to. You just don't have enough time in the day to consume it all. You really don't.
Where was all this stuff when I was a kid? Back in my day, that's another good point, man, of how great the time is now to be into this stuff. You're right. It is a battle for my time, because almost every show that we do for Omnibros, I get a recommendation for a TV show or a movie or a book, and everybody's saying, this show is the greatest, you need to watch it. I mean, I must have 15 or 20 shows, whole shows I'm supposed to be watching.
And that's just from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I get movie recommendations. There's so much stuff to choose from. What's gotten cut out for me is video games. Mm-hmm. I just have not been able to play, besides Animal Crossing. I haven't played anything. I still haven't played the first Spider-Man. I still haven't played the first Spider-Man video game, and I know how great it is because you guys have, been telling me that forever. Everybody's been telling me that. And I hope I can get to it, but that's what I've had to cut out because it's either reading comic books or watching comic books on TV.
Yeah, I've done the same thing myself. That's why when I first stopped doing my channels, because I'm running out of time, and I'm still running out of time. I'm still trying to cut things in and cut things out, especially as my family grows, as my kids get older, and they need a lot more attention and things like that. So there's got to be a give and take somewhere. I mean, luckily podcasts I can listen to in my car. I can listen to it while I'm at the gym. I don't watch. I've rarely ever really watched YouTube videos, but I definitely can't watch YouTube videos. I definitely don't have time for video games, which really sucks because that was a huge part of my life. I worked for PlayStation for 10 years. Like that was a big part of my life. But I'm not getting a PS5. I barely touched my PS4. So I feel the same way Jess does, and the way Lou is going to start feeling. Pretty soon as his family grows and his time shrinks and his attention needs to be more on, love and care and compassion for his wife and family and, hopefully a growing family as well. And I've lost a lot of time to read comics. I cut it in when I get the chance here and there. And that's why omnibuses are kind of going to have to kind of slow down on the buying of omnibus. I just don't have the time to read 1,000 pages of omnibus. Yeah. Like Roar of Realms, that's why I sold it. I'm never going to read that 1,600-page book because most of it I'm not going to enjoy. I know because it was useless crossovers and tie-ins, so I might as well just get the actual just major series. But
yeah, young parents have there's very little me time for young parents.
And to me, sorry, Jess.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say there's very little me time for young parents. I don't know how long this is going to last. This whole during the pandemic, this has been, I can't see my daughter. I can't really leave the house very much. So I have a lot of time, which this past year has been good for me personally, and I'm not trying to downplay the people that have been affected in a bad way by the pandemic, but this has been the most time I've ever had of me time, and okay, good. Thank you, Super Squad D. It wasn't hibachi this time. So time is what I've had an abundance of the past year. With my wife retiring, I was worried about that because she's around all the time now. But it's actually worked out really great because she wants to do her own thing and I get to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. And we have date night every Friday night, and we just watched Into the Spider-Verse. So that worked out. And next Friday we're watching Soul.
Oh man. Oh. Bring a beach towel.
Yeah.
For my crying?
Yes.
I started crying it up like the first 10 seconds.
My youngest child has, because we have these little like kid books, and we have like Up and Mulan and The Incredibles and all that stuff. My youngest has been reading the Up book, and then he found Up on Disney Plus. And when you're a little kid, all you want to do is watch the same movie over and over again. So it's been Up, and I'm like, every time it starts, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm not watching that first 10 minutes of Up. Like, it's not gonna happen. But same thing with Jess. Is like, with the time constraints, like my wife and I, all of our time is when we're together. All of our time is with the kids. Like my me time is really just the gym and making. I can make videos now and stuff like that. But we have our date night on Fridays where we Uber Eats in some food and we watch WandaVision. And then that's our Friday. So it's great, and that's really great and special and fun for us. But you just kind of wish you had more time. Like I wish I had more time to read more comics and do more videos and that kind of stuff.
You'll get there.
It'll happen. Once the kids get a little bit older and a little bit more, and hopefully and stuff like that for sure. But
yeah, but time is because there's so many choices. Time is the big constraint.
Yeah. I mean, back in my day, like you miss an episode of Batman the animated series, you go, fuck, I'm never going to see that again, or I'll have to wait till reruns in the summer, or something like that. I might as well just go do my homework now, or go read, or go draw, or do something. And now it's like, oh, I don't need to. I'll just binge it. I'll wait till it all comes out, and I'll binge it, or I'll just watch it 15 times today because I can on Disney Plus.
You guys really need to do a cartoon show with Ryley and Geo.
Yeah, I'm down for it. We'll make it out. We'll figure out a way to do it.
Because both your generations got so many great cartoons that were really high quality. I mean, I got good cartoons too, like Bugs Bunny and the Flintstones and stuff. But I mean, Gabe can list off like right now 25 great cartoons shows that you guys both grew up watching.
X-Men, Tick, Biker Mice from Mars, Exo Squad, Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Goof Troop, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, DuckTales. I'm going to do this, I swear to God.
Justice League,
Kim Possible, Gargoyles. What am I at? Is that 11?
12. Biker
12. I said Biker Mice from Mars. Street Sharks, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain,
Ren and Stimpy.
Silver Surfer, Ren and Stimpy. I haven't gotten to the Nickelodeon stuff. Hey Arnold, Wild Thornberries, Rugrats, Doug. I was going to go into live action, but stick with cartoons. Damn it, it got me on the spot.
I mean, if you just want to go my generation, it was Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. We had Dragon Ball Z, Gundam,
Transformers, GI Joe, Centurions, Mask. I need one more, and that is going to be. I'm thinking really hard right now. I don't need to be.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack,
Yeah.
Angry Beavers, Two Stupid Dogs. Yeah. Okay. I think that's like
Cat Dog.
Invaders.
Cat Dog.
Invaders.
Zim. Yeah. The Weekenders. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Thundercats.
Okay, maybe I misspoke. Maybe it's 40 that you could name off.
That was great.
Yeah, the chat. Yeah, that was great. You just did it right away.
Mighty Max. Yeah. Archer. Archer's newer. I love Archer, though. Archer's great. Archer's
Heathcliff,
fantastic.
which was the ghetto Garfield.
Yeah. Ren Stimpy, Freakazoid. Nice call out on that one, Mr. Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm sorry I missed on Freakazoid. Yeah. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Yep.
Do you remember Hong Kong Fooey?
I do remember Hong Kong Food.
I do.
Yeah, he jumped into a filing cabinet and came out as a ninja.
Yeah.
That was
It was my generation, wasn't it?
yeah. That was the early like Hanna-Barbera like era stuff.
Yeah.
Who created Hong Kong Fooey? That wasn't. It's like a famous comic book person. I thought created Hong Kong Fooey, right? I want to say Stan Sakai, but that's not right.
Let's see. Probably somebody in the chat knows faster. Hong
Kong Fooey though was the direct result of the Bruce Lee generation of like the rise in martial arts films because of Bruce Lee. So they wanted to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that was mid-70s stuff.
It was created by Hanna-Barbera, 1974.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was also the reason why we got Shang-Chi, because of the rise of those films.
Oh. Whoa, Scatman Crothers was in it?
He was the voice, yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch some of this. This sounds great. I forgot how good it was.
Bucky O'Hare. Anybody remember Bucky O'Hare? Created by the one and only Neil Adams.
Oh. Huh.
There you go, Silverhawks.
Hong Kong Fooey is an American animated television series, 74 until 76.
I saw somebody like in the comic book industry or somebody like created it.
Every time I hear Scatman Crothers, I always think of what's the Stephen King movie?
The Shining.
The Shining, yeah, because he's in The Shining.
Was that him? That's Scatman?
Yeah, that's him, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is Scatman Crothers.
Yeah, he plays the.
Yeah, he's also got the shine. He's got the Shining. Yeah, it was him. He's got the Shining, or as Bart Simpson calls it, the Shinning. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
No TV and no beer make Homer go something. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. This is one of my favorite Halloween episodes.
That is a great one.
I didn't mention The Simpsons. Bobby's Roll. Thank you, Omar. That's awesome. Yeah, I love Bobby's Roll.
Oh yeah.
From what's his face? Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel. Yeah. Oh, we've got the chat going now.
Yeah. And Blue Sonic. I didn't mention the 3 or 4 Sonic cartoons that were out at that time too.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was voiced by Urkel. Life with Louie. Life with Louie was great. Ah, man.
Yeah.
See, now we're talking about like good old the Fox cartoons days.
Earthworm Jim.
Yep, Earthworm Jim. I didn't mention like Recess or like The Kids Next Door. I didn't mention the Spider-Man.
Batman Beyond or Batman the Animated Series? Superman the Animated Series?
I know I mentioned Batman. I know I mentioned Batman Beyond. I didn't mention Batman the Superman series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a cartoon show years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago we did that. Mr. Awesome was getting into like the early 80s cartoons, Smurfs, Snorks. You could talk about like the Get Along Gang, Super Ted.
Yeah.
Real Monsters. I don't remember the Ted.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Clone High. You know, that stuff was great.
That's coming back. Clone High's coming back.
Tyler's right. I don't think I at you, bro. You're 100% right. Batman Beyond was better than Batman the Animated Series.
I think so too. I love the
here under two names. What are you doing?
He's on his phone and he's on his
chicken today.
Isn't he doing some? Isn't it tax season almost, Tyler? I'm glad to see him now because I know he's probably gonna get really bogged down. Pretty soon.
He's super busy, yeah. And it's been extended, so he's not pleased.
I had to make an appointment with my tax lady, and her only opening was 8 p.m. I was like, God damn it! I'll do it. I'll take it. I got my paperwork. Let's get it done. But 8 p.m. I had to do my tax.
You guys got your paperwork from me, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta take care of that. I just have to sit down and do it, to be honest.
Chuck Norris cartoon. Now I'm thinking about the Mr. T cartoon.
Dude, we had a RoboCop and a Rambo cartoon.
Yeah, that's the most inappropriate cartoon for kids ever.
Here's a Vietnam PTSD victim.
Yeah.
He
got suckered back into being in the military again.
Jess, yes, Rambo and the what was it? Rambo and the
WF or the VFW psychopaths, right? No.
What?
Yeah, there was a Rambo cartoon and there was a
RoboCop.
Yeah.
Rambo and the Force of Freedom. That's what it was.
RoboCop live action show. Yeah. Dude, the RoboCop cartoon had toys. I had the lunchbox as a kid. I remember it was a blue lunchbox that I had. And the toys, you couldn't do it today, but you would put caps in his chest and he would like spark like, you know, he was murdered. Like that movie brutally murdered by like the worst gangsters ever. Like I've never seen anybody get their hand blown off in a movie before. I was like 7. It was amazing. or Ed 209 when he shoots up that executive in the building. I remember seeing that. They played that on the TV at like the Radio Shack or the Circuit City or wherever we were at the time. And I was just sitting there just watching. My parents were like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm watching this movie," and this guy just got blown away. It's great.
Radio Shack. There, you're dating yourself right there.
Jess had never seen the hand getting blown off scene.
Oh no!
Was that? How was it in the original film? And I'm just
forgetting. No. You saw it because of me. I sent you the YouTube clip of it. You actually never saw it because you saw RoboCop in the theater when it first released. Right. And that's a heavily edited version from, I think, the VHS or DVD copy. They came out years later where they had to censor it because originally, if not, they would have gotten the NC-17 version when they murdered Murphy.
Oh, that's right.
So they re-released it later with that footage in it, and you see everything in that re-release where his hand gets blown off and he gets shot in the head. It is a brutal cut of the film.
I need to see that then. No, I don't want to commit to seeing that. Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen that when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that as a kid. Like I don't know that it was like I remember seeing his hand getting blown into pieces. It was maybe it was on HBO and they had it that way or what, but yeah, I remember that for sure.
Camp Candy, John Candy was in a cartoon.
Yeah, I remember Camp Candy. Yeah, I remember that.
But what's scary about if you watch RoboCop now, it gets a lot more right than it does wrong about our future. It's kind of scary how much it gets right.
Wow.
Have you seen that video that somebody made? It's an awesome edited video like somebody made. It's not edited, but somebody it was like a fan film they did of RoboCop, and it's called RoboCop Shoots Everyone in the Dick.
Ryan sent me that.
Yes, it's amazing. Like it's because that one part in the movie where he shoots that lady through her dress and gets that guy right in the junk.
Yeah,
and it's just there's like 100 crackheads that come out and he's just blasting all of them right in the junk, dude. It's great.
No, it was Matt. Matt Miranda was the one that sent me that.
Was it Matt? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to see that.
I'll play it right now.
No. We'd get this channel so stripped quick.
I'll put it in the chat though, so everybody else can watch it.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
you're quick on that.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like going to play it. I was like, just play this.
Do you have this bookmarked? That was quick.
It's my homepage, and I load up my internet.
Yeah, you were fast on that one.
Are we gonna do WandaVision spoilers?
Oh, we got off on a major tangent. Okay.
All right. So what y'all think?
All right, wait. Let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
Spoilers, everybody. Spoilers for WandaVision.
White Vision. That's all that matters. I was so hardcore about that. I was so happy when it happened.
Which I'm willing to bet is actually Ultron.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Well, huh. Oh, you've got it right there.
Oh yeah.
How long have you had it?
A couple of weeks. I showed it on the show a couple of weeks ago when I got it.
Oh, I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $100 book now.
Damn.
Stupid.
Oh, I think it's probably even more than that if it's graded.
Oh, great! It's probably ridiculous. Yeah, or
I think it's shot right up.
and that's that's the time era too, where a newsstand versions are actually a lot more rare and expensive too. Like the newsstand versions are really expensive too.
Right. I did some of the things I noticed was the very first thing I noticed was she was really when she said she's usually previously on WandaVision, and this episode she was like previously on WandaVision. She was like exhausted, and just I could tell the difference right away. But she was like bedraggled and just getting beaten up emotionally. That's what we were.
Yeah.
This was a really exposition heavy episode. They were just I mean, you need it because they have to fill in all the gaps and show you what they need to show you before we hit the finale next week. It was good.
I thought it was really good. Because it made a lot more sense than any other of her origins. I mean, this is the first time they actually said Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. They did a lot. This is all was exposition heavy, and it was all like really cool, like flashback, like the way they told it and flashbacks was really a cool way of doing it. But this is what we needed. Like this explains basically everything.
Yeah.
Like Wanda actually, as far as we know, I mean, there's one episode left. A lot of the rumors I've heard, there might actually be 2 episodes left, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. I have a theory on that.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of different things about that too.
I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, apparently Kevin Feige said that this is supposed to be like a 6-hour-long movie, and if you do the math, it's basically 2 more episodes left. Like we're an hour and a half short of 60 minutes.
So
6 hours.
So we get the finale next week, and then we're supposed to get a making of episode the week after. But the way WandaVision has been, where it's subverting your expectation and it's parodying all these different TV shows and TV tropes, the theory is that 10th episode is actually a secret 10th episode where they do a behind the scenes, but it's actually another episode of WandaVision.
Ah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that is exciting. Yeah, well, there were so many Easter eggs in there with the Mind Stone and the Mind Stone and what's the Golden Stone?
That's the Mind Stone, the one that was in the Loki's.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the first stone? Did they expose her to the Mind Stone and that's when she survived? Okay.
Because it kind of maybe retconned a little bit that she's always had these powers.
Yeah, and it revved him up a lot more.
Right, because they had the scene where she was in Segovia, and it explains the whole idea of the sitcoms, and that was really, really well done.
That was great.
Really well done. Like, this is all making sense, and everybody that hated those first 2 episodes, like, I loved it from the beginning, but that really kind of helps kind of explain what's going on with those first 2 episodes and why it was the way it was. And then the Stark bomb drops, and they determine that, like, well, it wasn't a dud because Stark Industries stuff doesn't fail. That Agus said you cast a probability spell. That's why you blow up. So like she's always had. There comes the idea of her being a mutant and Pietro being a mutant, but then her being exposed to the Mind Stones is what really kind of just ramped it up and kickstarted it and kind of gave her the powers of the Scarlet Witch, because that was what that silhouette was.
Vision,
somebody did a zoom in of it, and it's her in like full on like Scarlet Witch regalia with like the headdress and the cape and a badass outfit. Like it's straight out of the comics, like the way that we love it now. So they not retcon, but they piece that kind of stuff together. Such a good episode. Such a good episode.
So I honestly think the White Vision is going to be Ultron. Because
anything's possible, dude. Because they lied to us this whole time.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the part of it, Wanda says in the film, "I can't feel you in the film." Wow, well, it feels like a movie. I can't feel you in here. Whenever she goes into to Sword, and she sees Vision all torn apart, which was actually a pretty gruesome scene within what it was. My fiance and I were watching it, and she goes, "Wow, this is a little bit dark for."
That was straight out of West Coast Avengers too. That was straight out of this series.
It was a little bit dark. Yeah. And we never technically see the last Ultron bot die in Age of Ultron. We see Vision kind of take care of it, but then it cuts before he finishes the guy off. So who knows? Maybe Ultron is still in there somewhere.
That's possible. I mean, the whole time they told us that Wanda stole Vision's body. And I was like, what's going on here? They of course it's a secret government organization or whatever. Of course they're gonna lie. But I was like, they showed videos of her like, crashing through and like blowing everything up, it looked like. But apparently that was all a facade. But wow, this whole series has been about grief. And my theory was like the first few episodes was like the stage, like this whole thing has really been the stages of grief, like denial and anger and bargaining, and then finally the acceptance. And that's what this whole story arc has felt like to me. It's been her going through these stages of grief. But you see it happen. You get to experience where she actually snaps, where she turns like not dark. She's not turning evil. She just can't handle the grief. You see the loss of her parents, you see the loss of her brother, you see the loss of Vision, and how she can't even have that closure of a funeral, because what are you gonna do? Bury his body somewhere?
$1 billion worth of vibranium.
Yeah, not just that, but it'll get stolen like 5 seconds later by some other government entity or supervillain or mad scientist or something like that, And then the part where it just really it crushes her was the whole deed to the house. Yeah. And where Vision wrote on there, we'll grow old together here, or whatever that little message was. And you just
was that from Vision?
It signed V.
I know, but I mean, are we sure that was Vision that put the deed? I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, how did that get into her car? Like, in the passenger seat out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, it's an empty lot next to where this dungeon of witchcraft is going on. Something's going on there that I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, I've said it. There's an empty lot next to the Purple Magic dungeon, and it's very odd to me that Vision would pick that place. But Westview.
It was a sad town. When she was driving through it, that was just a sad town. Like everybody was just. I mean, it's also right after the snap.
Yeah,
people coming back or not coming back or whatever the case might be. So there's a lot of it was a hub of depression. It felt like for sure.
Regardless, next week is the kickoff for the next few Marvel films. We pretty much guarantee that, because this leads into Doctor Strange, which is all about multi-dimension, which leads into the Spider-Man film, which again seems like it's all about multiple dimensions from all the rumors that are coming out. So whatever happens next week is going to lead off into these next few Marvel films. So I think it's a safe bet. We'll get probably a cameo or some appearance by Doctor Strange next week because we know Wanda is in Doctor Strange. We know that.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed. So whatever happens next week is leading up to a lot of stuff that are going to take place in the next few Marvel films.
I mean, that's why I'm thinking from all the rumors I've been hearing, it's making sense that there might be that secret 10th episode or whatever, because there's too much left.
Yeah.
It feels like there's way too much left.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to Monica and fake Pietro.
Right.
Right.
You're going to wrap all that up in the next 35-minute episode or whatever. It seems like too much. And it even feels like, because we know Wanda is going to be in Doctor Strange. Maybe she's the villain of Doctor Strange, or she starts out as the villain in Doctor Strange. Because here's the thing. We know, comic book wise, we know those kids are and from what we saw in here, where she created a second vision, that those kids are fake.
Yeah.
And in the comic books, we know that they are parts of the chaos magic from Mephisto. And when those kids disappear, or if something happens to those kids where, it's explained to her that they've never, ever existed, and this is all just you projecting what you want to happen out of your grief, that just might be just the major turning point. I don't think she's gone crazy enough yet. We haven't seen the worst of her, and it's going to be when those kids disappear.
Well, think about everything that they have to close out and set up. They have to close out the situation with the new Vision. They have to close out the situation with the kids. They have to set up the next Doctor Strange film. They have to deal with the fact that, let's face facts, Vision is probably still going to be dead by the time this next episode is done. So they got to deal with that. Wanda's got to deal with Agatha. It's a lot to handle in 45 minutes. And to be honest,
Monica, and what's going on with Monica?
Monica, dealing with Monica, who's becoming Photon now.
Yeah.
It's a lot to deal with in 45 minutes, and I'm kind of wondering if there is that secret 10th episode that's been
That is
speculated.
so cool. I think you are so right. That makes so much sense.
It would make sense, or they're going to leave a lot of stuff hanging, and this is what they're going to build on for the next few MCU films, because COVID fucked up the whole timeline for MCU that they had planned.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have Black Widow, which who knows how Black Widow ties into, because the thing is that with Marvel films, they don't just have a roadmap for one or two films. They've got the next 10 films mapped out of how they're going to work them in. They're not written 100%, but there's a skeleton and there's a backbone as to, okay, this is how this is going to work and lead into this. COVID fucked all that up because we were supposed to get Black Widow, so who knows how that's supposed to tie into this as well.
We were supposed to get Eternals by this too. Eternals was supposed to be August, I think. Yeah. So there's who knows? Maybe that's not tied into anything. But I mean, WandaVision this was filmed during COVID too. I think WandaVision. I've seen behind the scenes photos and they were wearing masks. Same with Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that. But yeah, who knows what's going on? I don't think they could wrap this up in one more episode. It's going to have to be an event episode. The next episode's an hour and a half. Cool, but I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. There's a lot still going on. Again, I've been saying this from episode 1. They keep answering these questions that are just leading up to more questions. All these answers are just leading to more questions, and that's what we're getting. What's up with the White Vision? Is he going to be evil? Is it going to be him and the other Vision? Is it going to be a Vision on Vision fight? Is it Ultron? Is it something else? Is Mephisto really going to happen, or is this really just been fan fervor and people running with possible rumors of Mephisto showing up? But I mean, he is somehow, somewhere in the MCU, he's going to show up.
Yeah.
And who's this Luke Skywalker cameo that they keep talking about?
I was going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say, because Paul Bettany has said we still haven't gotten that Luke Skywalker cameo. So are we going to get that this episode? Or he's fucking with us and it's just Doctor Strange.
Maybe it's him fighting himself as White Vision. He's an actor he's always wanted to work with, and he's acting with himself. That would be the greatest.
Speaking of the greatest, I think the greatest thing we got from this episode. Let me take down the spoilers real fast so we can see this. I think this is as if this didn't touch your heart, then you're
there were multiple parts that.
Oh, that hit so home. That was great.
Yeah, that's interesting that the android is the one that comes up with the answer to everything, just philosophically.
And I think that's been his relationship with Wanda, because her powers are from the mind gem, and he had the mind gem in his head this whole time, or during Age of Ultron. And maybe that connection they have is related to that makes him a more of a caring, compassionate, understanding human of a synthesoid or whatever. But
well, I don't think this is the end of Vision, and they're gonna bring him back simply because this show was way too popular and he's such a loved character that I could see maybe in a few films or a few years down the line they bring him back. And Paul Bettany, I'm pretty sure the guy loves doing this.
Well, he gets to play two Visions now. Yeah. So, and I really want to see what's going to happen with this White Vision, because I've said it before. Like, the White Vision was my vision when I was reading the Avengers comics in the day. He was white like that. So,
or maybe she transfers like this Vision's soul into the White Vision, and that's how we.
Or maybe that's how you get what's his face, Wonder Man. Because Vision's memories are from Wonder Man, so maybe somehow that gets mixed in, because in the opening credits of one of the episodes you see like a silhouette of Grimjack. Is it Grimjack? Wonder Man's brother, Grimjack, from, remember the Vision, the Tom King Vision?
Yeah.
The guy with the sickle and the hat. Like there's a shadow of him. So does that somehow play into this later on, or is that just an Easter egg for fans? Really going on here.
Theory on the director of Sword.
I think he's just an asshole. He's just. Okay. I don't think he's like Mephisto or anything.
Okay.
Chaotic or tied into the witchcraft side of things. I just think he's just your next like Nick Fury, Robert Redford character who's just the leader of it all. Yeah,
I think he's just a dick, because right now Nick Fury's up in like space chilling with Skrulls, smoking space ganja or whatever it is.
What's that?
Nick Fury's up with the Skrulls right now.
Wait, what do you mean?
He's
because of Secret Invasion?
Yeah, well, I forgot what post-credit scene it is, but Nick Fury's not on Earth. He's with Skrulls right now in space.
Wait, that was post-credit scene in WandaVision?
No. And I forgot what movie it was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with Luis here. Yeah, from the video game too. He was white in the video game.
Yep,
that's how I knew all about him.
What was? I never read any White Vision. What was he like?
He was the typical Vision, but I think he had a little bit less personality to him. He wasn't so like human. I think he was a little bit less human.
A little colder.
Yeah.
But
because he was reworked, like they had to put him back together. Like he's just spread out, like in this, where he was just spread out in pieces.
But he wasn't evil. He was just colder.
No. Yeah, he was just colder.
Oh, okay.
God damn it! I want Black Widow now. I really want to see that movie.
Yeah, they need to just put it on Disney Plus and just get over it.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm happy to pay for that movie.
Well, they just announced Spider-Man is 100% come to theaters this Christmas. Theaters only is what they've said.
That I can see that happening.
Christmas, yeah, I can see that.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, that's still like almost a year away. So we'll see what's going on.
And that's going to be, if they stick with it, that's going to be the film that's going to bring people back to theaters.
Yeah, not Tenet. It's going to be an MCU movie.
It's going to be an MCU movie, and it's going to be a big character like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm. That's what it was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I pay $30 for Black Widow.
Yeah, I'm in for it, dude. I'll do it. Better than going to the theater right now.
Yep.
Well, this would be a good time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts added another 2% to that. The end of every month, we have IST is kind enough to give us a $50 gift card to give away to lucky viewers, a lucky viewer. If you order $50 or more in an order in the United States, you get free shipping, fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
And here I got this West Coast Avengers 44. And this is straight out of they did this straight out of the book. Like you have Vision.
Whoa, look at that artwork.
Yeah. This is John Byrne. But you have him just laid out on the table with
That was
her
peak John Byrne.
out. Yeah.
Previously on WandaVision.
Every episode's been almost like a Marvel film, it feels like. They're all really
This one felt like a Marvel film to me, this episode. This was, I mean, all these going back in her memory and everything, and all those scenes recreated. This was practically a movie.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. Well, I can't wait to see what they do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because apparently they showed a 9-minute clip at some investors meeting or something. It was a 9-minute aerial fight scene with the Falcon, and he is just apparently just heartless and a monster, just destroying people.
I'm very excited for the future of Marvel because apparently like they've shown to investors and stuff like that bits of Eternals, and Eternals is apparently once again the best thing that they've done.
Huh.
Everything they do is the best thing that they've done, and there's no slowing at this point.
They keep topping themselves somehow.
Yeah. And they're doing things like with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, who the hell cared about Guardians of the Galaxy at the time? Nobody. And they made that work. They're going to make it sounds like they're making Internals work. They put out like a promo image from it, which is like the worst Photoshop image I've ever seen. It was horrible. But yeah, I mean, if they're showing stuff at these investor meetings of Internals and they're loving it, there's no stopping them. I mean, we haven't even gotten into like the next phase of movies yet, really. Yeah. So we got Spider-Man, we got Eternals, we got Shang-Chi, we got Doctor Strange, and that's not even. We haven't gotten into like the X-Men stuff yet or the Fantastic Four stuff yet. Like it's they haven't reached the ceiling yet. There's just so much more that's going to come.
We're getting Blade soon too, which. A PG-13 Blade would. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but PG-13 they could do a lot with it. But goddamn, you just can't top that Wesley Snipes Blade film. That first one is still so good. I love that film.
I like that film a lot. I've seen that a few times.
I mean, they confirmed a Deadpool 3, and it's going to be R. It just there's so much to look forward to. So stay healthy, everybody. There's so much to look forward to over the next,
this
handful of years.
Golden age.
It was
golden age.
They were interviewing Kevin Feige, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't really need. We feel like we never need an R-rated film, unless it's Deadpool." That's basically what he said. It's like, yeah, Deadpool's got to be R-rated.
I mean, it worked R-rated before. I mean, it's not R-rated. I mean, the violence isn't even that bad in those movies. It's just that he says "fuck" like every other time.
Yeah.
You know? I think you get more than 2 F-bombs, then you get an R rating.
Yeah, I think you're right. That is the limit because in X-Men, that first X-Men, not the reboot of X-Men First Class, Logan says "fuck" in that film, and that was the one that they could use, I think, in that film without getting the R rating.
Oh, there's a number.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3.
There's a documentary out there.
It's so arbitrary.
There's a documentary out there that I saw about the MPA and the rating system and how it's really just it's nothing's really written down in like there's no Bible, there's no rules. It just goes off of feelings and thoughts. And the South Park guys like exploited that because it was like Team America where they had the puppet sex scene. Where they filmed it way, way worse. And they show it like in the DVD where they're like peeing on each other and there's poop and they take it really, 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 really far so that they can get that denied and take that part out so they can still keep the other weird like puppet sex stuff that they were doing too. So
yeah, they've exploited that in the past before. There was a whole episode where they said "fuck" in it like 300 times or something like that.
Yeah. They kept a tally of it too, and that's how the monster grew bigger. Was it fuck or shit? It was something like that. But yeah.
And then in the end, they're like, "Well, this was a great episode, but we can never use this word again."
There it is, NFL dude. It's called "This Film Is Not Yet Rated." It has a really good, like, eye-opening kind of idea of how just, how these things are just don't make sense, and they just kind of do what they want, and it's just what people's subjective opinions are about things. So
I mean, you could do a pretty solid PG-13 horror film if they do Blade. We've had films like The Conjuring 2. They're pretty solid PG-13 horror stuff, but still, like,
Yeah.
After getting Wesley Snipes in Blade and how that opening club scene, goddamn, that thing is still badass. Where
the blood, the fire sprinklers.
Oh my god, that movie's still great.
I mean, ratings don't mean good or bad film. You get really great, horror films that are PG, and you get really good movies that are R, and it doesn't really matter. It's just R doesn't make us. There's a ceiling with R films, and it comes down to like box office, takes and money. That R films, you can't get everybody to go in there and see an R film is the problem. But that was shattered by like Deadpool and stuff. So.
Yeah, and just because you make a movie R-rated doesn't mean it's going to be good. I mean, we've got the Zack Snyder cut Justice League that's coming out in a few weeks, and that's going to be the total time of the film is 4 hours and 7 minutes, and it's R-rated.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna break that up because then, of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier starts at that time too. So I don't want to see I'm not interested in a full screen movie either. That's gonna be odd.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's weird how they shot it.
IMAX for no IMAX experiences, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to get out of here, dudes.
Yeah, we've been on a long time.
Yeah.
So, right. Lou, where can they find you on the internet?
Comics Guide 101 on Twitter, and Comics Guide 101 is where you can find my old archive of videos. And yeah.
Gabe loves 90s comics. He sure does.
I sure do. And you could find me on Gabe Loves 90s Comics here on YouTube, where I put up my Jim Lee X-Men Artist Edition spotlight overview with side-by-side comparisons of the actual comic books as well. So you get to see the original art and what it looked like in comics. So it was really cool and really fun. It's a long video because I went page by page by page of that awesome, beautiful book. So check that out and give me a like and subscribe and all that fun stuff.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. So thank you to the chat. Thank you to the viewers watching this afterwards. Of course, thank you to InStock Trades for their lovely sponsorship. Thank you to my co-hosts, and thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.